Hello, everybody. I'm Larry Ridley. You're tuned into the NFL on EA Sports. It's a fresh start throughout the league here in Week 1 as these two teams have high hopes for the season ahead. It's the Vikings going up against the Titans. With that, let's get you out to Nashville, where we welcome in our new team for 2016. Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Thank you, Larry. We welcome everyone to the Music City, just a stone's throw from the Country Music Hall of Fame. We are at Nissan Stadium in Nashville, Tennessee. Today, the opener of the 2016 NFL season between the Minnesota Vikings and the Tennessee Titans. Georgia Southern man. This is Jerick McKinnon. 5 yards is the tally on first down. That brings up 2nd and 5. The starters now on offense. And Stephon Diggs, our first chance to see him today.
Brandon, remember we had this conversation about how highly recruited he was in high school. Didn't quite live up to it in college due to some injuries. But, boy, has he hit the NFL like a bomb. Stephon Diggs, a crafty, mature route runner who can go the distance.
Call it a gain of 4 there, so it sets up a big play here. 3rd and a yard. And a look at the defense now. Just play number 3 here on the opening drive, and it's an early 3rd and 1. On 3rd and 1, here's Bradford. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. First down coming there on the intermediate passing play. That's been a point of emphasis, they told us in practice, using those medium routes to keep the defense off balance.
And it wasn't just them telling us. We got to watch them practice it and work on it because they've been trying to fine-tune it and get it right before this game. And I think they have to be happy with the result.
They run it with McKinnon. And he's going to be stopped up quickly here. Just a yard up to the 39. Tackle made by Brian Orakpo.
That's a good play by the guys on the defensive side of the ball. Held them to a gain of 2. And that changes the playbook a little bit now for the guy calling plays. 2nd and 8. Now he's got to probably think about going to the air instead of maybe staying with the ground game.
And he gets this one to midfield before he's brought down. A nice pickup there of 11 yards, and it'll move the sticks.
Let's just go ahead and state the obvious. You're going to want a big game out of that guy. Big-time run to get things started. But even more important, coming in on the road, trying to silence the crowd, take them out of it a little bit, slow down the emotions of the game, and get yourselves under control and feel like, yeah, we're going to be okay on the road. A 1-yard gain can look like a disaster, but it all depends on how the game is going. Is it a series of 1-yard gains running the ball? If that's the case, you might have to start thinking about throwing it a little bit more. But if it's just the occasional 1-yard run, hey, congratulations to the defense. They won that one. Come back and get them the next time.
Off the play fake, Bradford. And he fires one that's intercepted. A great read, and it's picked off. And his guys will take over at their own 44-yard line. And he may want to track down that football because that's interception number 1 on his career.
You're saying that's going into the trophy case?
I'd put it there.
Yeah, no doubt about it. That's when you ask the equipment guys to make sure they hold it for you after the game. But if you play in the back 7 on defense, that's part of your job, finding ways to take the ball away from the other team.
And a quick throw here, that's complete. It's a pickup of 16 there, and it'll lead to a new set of downs. And boy, they had high praise for this rookie receiver when we asked the coaches about him, didn't they?
They certainly did, and obviously they liked his measurables, otherwise they wouldn't have brought him onto the team. Height, weight, speed, all of that. But how about what they really said? Competitiveness. That's what they really liked about him. The way he goes after the football, competes for it, and decides when it's in the air, it's his and only his.
That one good for 16, and the drive will continue.
Hey, when Marcus Mariota was at Oregon, throwing to the tight end wasn't much of an option, was it? That spread offense, you didn't have him on the field too much. Now, he's got one of the best in the game in Delanie Walker.
Last year, Walker led all the tight ends with 94 catches. 13 yards there on the pickup, and the Titans are going to have a first.
Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
First down, Mariota. Oh, hit as he throws there, incomplete. Offensive starters, here they are. And Delaney Walker, Charles, it's a guy that you and I said we wanted to discuss a bit.
Yeah, and we should, because remember, he came out of college as a wide receiver, so he's one of the early guys to move from a wide receiver position to tight end and still run routes as if he were a wide receiver. An excellent target.
Flush to his right. Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Xavier Rhodes with a pick. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. The Vikings offense now, they get ready to head back on the field. And following the interception, we'll see what they can put together on this drive.
I can hear my old college coach right now. He always used to tell us before every game, the team making the fewest mistakes will win. What they're hoping is that last mistake is their only one of the game.
Coaches, that's all they talk about, turnovers, right?
Minimizing those and maximizing opportunities.
It's a loss of a yard there, and now second down. And the offense there, the O-line, everybody really on offense, they were just manhandled at the point of attack.
Yeah, you could pretty much call them all out, couldn't you? Almost by name, right? That was a very tough sequence for the offensive line. But how about that defensive front? Creating a new line of scrimmage and creating a lost yardage possibility.
Now the pressure comes and he goes down. Just inside the 10, back at the 9. Well, there was second long, now it's third and even longer. They're going in the wrong direction here.
Because they're moving exactly the way they want to, but you're exactly right. Definitely going in the wrong direction for the offensive guys.
Now Bradford. Going right side here, and that's complete. They'll get 19 out of this, but it will still bring up a fourth down. Back now with Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin. Second quarter begins with the Vikings holding the football, but likely not for long as they're in punt formation to kick it away. Now the punter Ryan Quigley is on in his fourth season out of Boston College. Fighting him off.
Just ran right through the trash.
A nice job on the return there, 16 yards. And it'll be Titan football. And here comes Tennessee as they get set to take the field. Looked like they had something going last drive. Then the interception happened. Will they recover?
The memory they need to keep with them is that they did have something going. They were moving the ball on offense, had a nice sequence going. Don't worry about the other part. You can't get that back. Let's go back to what you were doing well before.
I thought you were going to say they need to have no memory, but remember the good part, forget the bad.
I like that even better.
And he'll be taken down just shy of midfield. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4.
First play of the drive. Let's give credit all around. Excellent blocking. But the guy carrying the ball, he was the finisher. A really nice run.
He's going to launch this thing way downfield. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete.
I like the boldness, and I like that they took a shot downfield, but it was well covered. He was able to get a hand in and knock it away.
Third down here for the offense after the incomplete pass. Mariota from the gun on third down. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up fourth down. So the Titans are forced to punt as Brett Kern is on to do the honors. Marcus Sherrill's back deep for Minnesota.
That was a classic example of trying to run with the ball without securing the catch. He was thinking about those rack yards instead of making the catch first and then taking off.
And not what he was hoping for there, as this will hit in the end zone for a touchback. And now out comes Minnesota. And still no points on the scoreboard. You're coming off of the 3 and out. They're just looking for anything to grab onto right now, aren't they?
I'm wondering if someone's going to take charge in the huddle. You know, we always look to the quarterback, but sometimes it's another player on the team, a star, a veteran, someone with some excitement and energy. It's like, all right, guys, let's shake things up and let's go, because they still have an opportunity to make things happen.
Shake it off. Play action. Bradford. He's got it complete to Stephon Diggs. And they'll get it all the way out near midfield to the 45.
That crossing route is so effective when you hit it just right because you get a guy on the move, and then we see the end result there.
Nightmare for the defense. They got a guy with a full head of steam.
Not only does he catch it, but he picks up additional yardage after it.
And he is out of bounds inside the 35.
But plenty of credit has to go to the guy carrying the ball. He broke the tackle and gained the yardage. But that doesn't necessarily mean that the defender is bad. They're not going to make 100% of the tackles all the time. Even the best in the game will miss one occasionally. The key is not to let it snowball and miss tackle after tackle. On that play, credit to the offense, but that doesn't make the defense bad.
Now a second down throw for Bradford. Quick hitter here. It's complete. And they'll be inside the 25 now at the 24. And now the passing game here in the second quarter is starting to heat up a little bit.
Don't you feel the rhythm starting to happen, right? You see it. Now the confidence is starting to rise. I think now as a play caller, because that has happened, you lean on it a little bit more. You don't go totally away from running the football, but you do say, guess what? We can throw it. We can throw it well with a whole lot of confidence.
Bradford, he rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off by Wesley Woodyard. Well, they thought they were going to break the tie. The defense had other plans. They were already in field goal range, but boom, an interception.
I don't know if this was a case of being a little bit too greedy with the opportunity to put points on the board, but give credit to the guys on the defensive side. Hung in there, battled, and made a key play.
Firing quickly here, and that's complete. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch. And just a small glimpse there as to why they like this rookie so much.
And that's why they lit up a little bit in our meetings with the coaching staff.
Yeah, when we talked about him, they did.
Yeah, you know, they like his work ethic. You know, this guy's running every route well in the route tree and getting better at it all the time. Really honing his game. They expect a pretty good jump out of him as things continue to move on.
And runs like that, those are the ones that got Mr. Henry that Heisman Trophy a year ago.
Not only is he big, strong, fast, I love his agility and his vision. That's the reason he piles up the yards, and he definitely doesn't shy away from carries.
Mariota on first down. That's complete right around the 8. And all the way down inside the 5 to the 4. It's a really nice 15-yard pickup, and now it's first and goal. 2 minutes remain in a scoreless first half. Back to Tennessee after this. Working out of the gun, Mariota. And into the end zone for a Tennessee touchdown. Their big-bodied receiver with his first career touchdown in his first career game. And the Titans are able to strike for 6. Now it's Ryan Suckup on after the touchdown to kick it away. And this will be a touchback, so a first chance here in week 1. To see the ball be brought out with the new rule to the 25-yard line. And on the outside, they're playing press coverage. Now McKinnon to start the drive. And able to stay on his feet past the 30 to about the 33-yard line. 8 yards on the pickup, and now they'll have some options on second and short. Here comes the D swarming to the line. Let's go. Now it's the backup, Bridgewater. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
It's a tried and true formula, and I don't think it'll change for as long as we play football. If someone's trying to throw the ball and you can put pressure on them and make it tough, that's only going to help your defense.
Yeah, he's since being hurried. He got rid of it before taking the hit, but incomplete. Well, they've had a pretty frustrating first half here offensively and then just continued there with that incompletion.
And definitely frustrating for them, but heartening for the other guys. Those stop troops, they're enjoying things right now because they've made it very difficult for them throughout the half.
Oh, it's a wobbler here. And this kick will be touched down as they spot it inside the 45-yard line. And here comes Tennessee as they get set to take the field. And that recipe on their last drive that resulted in a touchdown looked pretty good, so they'll be hoping to do that once more.
And it takes me back to when we sat with the offensive coordinator and the head coach. They felt pretty good about their game plan and thought there were some holes in the defense, and they exploited them the last time out. Let's see if they can come back and put together a similar drive.
And we'll see if they can do just that. And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful? You're losing playing against a good quarterback like he is to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone, you go to a zone blitz scheme. And you can drop anyone out of your defensive front. Defensive end, defensive tackle. It doesn't matter. You just exchange someone to bring more pressure towards the quarterback and still try and cover downfield.
Escaping the pressure right. And he'll be out of bounds all the way down at the 6. A solid pickup at 13 sets him up first and goal.
That's the type of play there that puts a defense into stress. Marcus Mariota on the run. You don't know whether he's going to take it downfield or throw the footballs we just saw there. And boy, was he accurate with that one.
And you know, the Oregon coaches offered him a scholarship without ever seeing him start a game because they saw him in camp. They saw plays like that. Offered him.
He didn't start very much in high school, but he started a lot once he got to Oregon.
Unable to connect on the first down pass play. Now it's second down. Mariota again. Flushed out right. And the Titans are in for 6. Touchdown. And that'll give them a 2-score lead here, but I'm looking ahead. They just want to hold it for the final moments here in the second quarter. They don't want to give up anything on the other side.
No, not at all, because if they don't, they almost had the feel of an imposing their will score. And right now, they want to make sure they keep that and carry it into the second half.
So they go with a pass, and it works there on the 2-point try. Charles, just in general, what are your thoughts passing versus running on 2-point conversion? Situational?
It is situational, and you have to know your team. What is your strength? Because so many people think you have to throw the ball on a 2-point conversion, but the stats will tell you that running it is about as proficient. So know your team and go to your strength.
They go play action here on first down. He's got the connection over the middle to Diggs. A good pickup there, 26 yards.
And when an offense is doing a nice job selling the play action pass, a lot of responsibility shifts to the linebackers. They're the ones that have to determine runner.
Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. Looks like the defense in press coverage here. A second down throw for Bridgewater. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off by Wesley Woodyard. And his guys have got it back at the closing stages of the first half. And here comes Tennessee as they get set to take the field. And with time quickly fading here in the second quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot.
A good pickup there. 8 yards on the first down completion. Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. Now a second down throw for Mariota. They set up the screen for Henry. And he's brought down. Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime. And he has got it from 55 yards away. That So he splits the uprights there, and I would imagine it's nice as a kicker. Right when it leaves your foot, you know it's good.
Yeah, it's kind of like a golfer that picks up his tee after a nice drive without even watching it land.
Solid analogy. I like it. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. So we've reached halftime here on opening weekend, as we'll send you down to Orlando, where Larry Ridley has our EA Sports halftime report. Larry, so both teams have their marching orders, and we'll get going again here in quarter number 3. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. And here comes Tennessee as they get set to take the field. They built a good first-half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively. And the offense moving quickly to the line. Now a play fake here on first down. Over the middle, Sharp's got it complete. Touchdown, Titans. Tajay Sharp with his first career touchdown in his first career game. And the Titans find a way to stretch their lead. And he atones for his miss the first time around, as this one is up and good to extend their lead. Now it's Ryan Suckup on after the touchdown to kick it away. Very short kick. This will be taken by one of the up men. And the Vikings now heading onto the field. They were able to get the stop defensively. Now a chance really to set the tone here in quarter 3.
They can really take charge, can't they? And this is probably how it was drawn up at the half. I think we can go inside the locker room, all right? And I think we would see up on the grease boards, stop them defensively, get the ball back for the offense, and let's go downfield and score. Seems simple, right? The last part, we have to find out if that's going to happen. But the first part worked to perfection. Did exactly what they wanted, and now their offense has to pay it off.
See if they can get the latter 50%. Here's McKinnon. And some room to roam now. The 20. And he gets this one all the way down inside the 15, just shy of the 10. That one goes for 34 yards. And it'll be a Minnesota first down. The play clock's running down. Bridgewater looking for Diggs, and it's intercepted. It's the first-round pick, Keanu Neal. And the return will stop them well inside their own 20 at the 15-yard line. The Titan offense now working their way back onto the field. Following the interception here, Mariota. That is incomplete. He was looking for the running back, Derrick Henry. And that'll bring up second down. Well, the numbers have been good in the passing game, and certainly a big reason why they have the lead. But now here, third quarter, maybe go to the run game a little more?
Yeah, perhaps. I mean, after that incompletion, a little credit to the defense for shutting them down on that play. Maybe you try and run the football a little bit more in this spot. But they have to feel good about how they've been throwing it overall.
And there they went crossing route against the zone defense. What do you think of that?
It takes real coordination between the passer and the receiver, because you've got to read those zones and where the open spots are and be on the same page with the guy throwing the football. Because sometimes you're throwing it in front of the zone. Sometimes you're throwing it between the zones. Sometimes the receiver's going to just kind of find a spot and what we call sit down and present himself to the quarterback and throw it there. It's a tough read, but when they're in sync, it's really effective.
Rolling to his left toward the sideline, and he will have the first down as he was able to keep the feet in bounds. That one good for 10 yards. And that'll bring up what looks to be a third and inches. Can't be more than a half a foot. They'll try to run for the first with Henry. And this play will be blown up. He'll lose yardage back at the 38. And a loss of 3 to bring up 4. Here's Brett Kern now. On for his second punt. He'd take a repeat of his first. He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. Here's Sherrills. 12 yards on the return that time. And it'll be Viking football here as they take possession. And now out comes Minnesota. And the interception thrown in the red zone last time. We'll see if they can rebound.
I just have to think the last thing he said as they went back.
And down he goes. The pressure getting to Bridgewater. The corner blitz gets there as he goes down for a loss of 7.
The game plan for any defense is finding ways to make a quarterback uncomfortable in the pocket. When you bring pressure from all angles, you never know who's going to get home. In this case, the left cornerback, right in the face of him, puts him down.
They get 14 back, but it leads now to a 3rd down.
Obviously, this has not been a banner game throwing the football. So what you got to do, you got to kind of down focus, don't you think? Find the tight end, take some easier completions.
The interception last drive. There he hits the reliable target. Bridgewater, and he's got Kyle Rudolph. Look at the big man rumble. Touchdown, Vikings. Kyle Rudolph, 63 yards. And the Vikings are able to close the gap just a bit. Charles, that was a heck of a play.
It truly was, because when he made that catch, he had to shake through some people, right? So that play, to me, a highlight film that should be accompanied by bass music, right? I mean, boom, 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 and he finds his way to the end zone. Terrific play.
Here's Bridgewater, and he will get into the end zone to shave 2 more points off the deficit. Forbat to send it away now following the touchdown. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. And here comes Tennessee as they get set to take the field. They've got the lead. Last time had to punt it, though. What's the key to this drive?
I think it's leverage.
Leverage.
Big guys up front. You know the motivational speech on the sideline is, guys, give us an opportunity. Protect the passer, create space for our runners, and let's go ahead and get these guys. Low man wins. Let's go do it on this drive.
We'll watch that leverage on this drive. Second down, Mariota. Going deep here for Matthews. Is this intercepted? It is. It's intercepted. Xavier Rhodes with a pick. And his guys will take over at the 25-yard line. And now out comes Minnesota. And they're going to need another score. Got one last time, but still down here.
When you're playing catch-up, every possession becomes crucial, doesn't it? It's vital. Get back out on the field, punch it in the end zone again. They know it's not easy, but what they do have going for them, they did score the last time. They think they've got a good formula working.
And what about the defense?
Well, now you're just saying to yourself, okay, we gave up a score last time. What adjustments do we need to make to slow them down now and get the ball back for our own offense? Is it more pressure? Is it more zone? What do they have to do? They're trying to figure that out themselves.
We'll see if they can figure that out right here. Stephon Diggs, his intended receiver, and it's 3rd down.
Anytime a ball's thrown in the middle of the field and it's popped up in the air, I expect someone to catch. It doesn't matter whether it's offense or defense, because there's usually a great amount of bodies in that part of the field. In this case, no one came up with it.
Bridgewater to throw it. And he's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. Picked off by the rookie, Kevin Byard. And this one will be returned to right around the 38-yard line. Out come the Titans now. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious, because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack them here. Second down now after the pass completion.
Nowhere, 22, go nowhere. We got it. What we got? Right there, 54, right there, 54, Mike.
Play fake to Henry. Now Mariota out to his left. And intercepted. Maybe the turning point they need. It's the second rounder, Mackenzie Alexander. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. That is the play they needed in a two-score game here in the fourth quarter.
No doubt about it. They did what they had to do to give themselves a chance to get back into the game.
And his pass is intercepted for the fourth time today. And he will take this one home. It's a touchdown. Well, we know this defense has athleticism. Spots like that prove us right.
I love the way that you spotlighted the athleticism because you and I both know the best athletes on the field, they play on defense.
Well, I was a kicker. You got to remember that now.
Come on.
Fine. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick six. And now the kick is away. Short kick. One of the up middle take it now. And not a bad return. Here he gets it out to the 25. Yard line. Following the interception, Bradford. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete.
The good signal callers would never go back in the huddle and play the blame game because they need those guys to protect him. But on that last one, his offensive line, they lost their leverage very quickly, and that's why they were able to get to him and hit him as he tried to throw the football and force an incompletion.
He's going to loft one deep left side here. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up third down.
Well, they went for the big play there, but that drop could really hurt their momentum.
So here we go now. An extra defensive back in there on 3rd and 10. Throwing, Bradford, and that's incomplete. He was looking for Adam Thielen there, and that brings up 4th down. They got pressure there and only rushing 3.
And there's a defensive coordinator right now who is celebrating not just getting home with 3 there, but realizing if that's the type of pressure he can get in the entire game, then his pass defense is going to be excellent. You're dropping 8. Where are you going to go with the football?
Fair catch called for and made at about the 32-yard line. It'll be a 39-yard punt, no return. And out will come the offense as they take over. Here's the Titan offense now as they make their way back onto the field. And with 3 interceptions thrown already, we'll see. Do they rely more on the ground game here?
They may have to change things offensively to try and settle things down, not just for the guy throwing the ball, but for the rest of the offensive unit, because his confidence has to be shaken a little bit. And you just wonder, is the backup going to start to warm up a little bit over on the sideline?
They come out 5 wide, 3 of them to the right side. Mariota. And he's got his man in stride, complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. He's played a great game. It continues right there, even with this lead, confident to throw the pass and have the reception made.
There's no doubt who the leader of their team is there? There's no doubt who they want to ride all the way to the finish. The strategy would tell you run the football, run the clock down. Instead, they're letting him throw it because they feel that confident in what he's getting done.
And now a first down following that long gain. From the red zone now, Mariota. And a quick throw here, that's complete. And they've got it inside the 10 at the 8. A solid pickup at 13 sets them up 1st and goal. Now a play fake here on first down. This will be caught at about the 5. It's a 4-yard pickup, and that'll make it 2nd and goal.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you just swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
Now Mariota, and he will score. Touchdown, Titans. Their dangerous wide receiver making quite a splash with his 2nd touchdown in his NFL debut. And this Titans offense continues to pour it on. Now it's Ryan Suckup on after the touchdown to kick it away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. And out now come the Vikings. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. And the first play of the drive goes to McKinnon. And he is going to lose yardage here. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up second down.
When you're putting together a formula for winning defense, it's exactly what we're seeing in this game. Controlling the line of scrimmage, attacking, and changing everything so that now...
And the pressure gets to Bradford, and down he goes. The corner blitz gets there as he goes down for a loss of 7.
Well, when defensive coordinators game plan to put pressure on a quarterback, they often want to use blindside rushes, and that's exactly what they did there. The cornerback gets to him and drops him.
Here we go.
Third and long for Bradford. He's going to fire one deep over the middle. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete.
On every offensive coordinator, every play caller sheet, they have about 5 or 6 plays per game that they call shot plays or big plays. And you don't get many opportunities to dial them up. And they just did. And they drop it with a great chance to make a big play. That's going to hurt.
43 yards on the punt, return of 4, and the offense will come back onto the field with a 1st and 10. And here comes Tennessee as they get set to take the field. And that last drive, a long drive, but not just that, they had a great air attack going. Do they stick with that?
I would think that they would, because if they were confident enough to do it on the last drive, starting backed up in their own territory, why would you change anything? They've got to be confident about what they're presenting and continue to do so.
Because the secondary, they really look clueless.
And that was amazing because that drive went and went, no adjustments, and no big plays by the defense to knock the ball away.
It's an 8-yard pickup, and it'll be second down. Cool under pressure right there, escaping the pocket and finding what I think was not his primary target.
And some of these guys are just so comfortable getting outside of the pocket that they'll do it on purpose. It doesn't even need to be a breakdown. They move, and they know it affects the defense, because a lot of times you get lost in coverage in the secondary, and I think you're exactly right. Wasn't his primary target. Found a secondary guy who sprang open, probably because of his movement out of the pocket.
And Walker with it over the middle. That one goes for 24 yards. And passing yardage-wise, now up over 350 in this game. Pretty nice performance.
Definitely that, which usually means you're putting a lot of pressure on guys trying to cover. If you're a defensive back and they put over 350 yards on you, you've had a long day. The key to everything, if you're doing it without throwing interceptions or turning the ball over.
And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off by the rookie Kentrell Brothers. Fighting through. And he will take this all the way up past the 40-yard line. And now out comes Minnesota. They've lost this one. Their offense has struggled. Do they try to put together something here at the end just to take into next week?
Yeah, sometimes teams want to do that and coaches want to. I remember one time I was on a team and we were losing late in the game like this, and you knew it was lost. It was over, right? And the coach called a running play and pretty much said to everyone, I want to see something executed well before we get out of here. And that was the message to the team.
Just something to build on.
Just something to build on, get it done, and maybe we can look at that and say, we'll get better as we go forward.
They come out with 1 back and 3 tight ends. They run once more with McKinnon. No gain on the play that time, and they'll look to convert on what will be a 3rd and 4. Off the corner. Where'd he come from? Well, I guess he came off the corner, but really nice play.
I like when you're able to pose a question and answer it at the same time. That's exactly where he came from, but it's not something that you normally see. Most of the time, we're thinking about those guys covering pass catchers. In this case, he was a big factor in the run game. No gain.
Latavius Murray, the intended receiver, out of the backfield. And it's 4th and 4. And he deserves a bronze leg as he gets this one away. It's picked up by the Titans. Returner didn't have the space that he deserves, got bumped into. That's the flag.
After a 40 or 45-yard run downfield, sometimes you don't come under control in time. That was a penalty on the defense.
They come out here in the I. Mariota hands to Henry. Up and over. And he'll take this up near the 35, maybe the 34. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4.
You know what really fires up offensive linemen? When the guy that is carrying the ball behind them can create his own space and break a tackle along the way.
They'll run it again with Henry. And brought down, but not before reaching the 45-yard line. A nice pickup there, 10 yards, and it'll move the sticks. And we're hitting the end of this one, and it looks to probably be the final play. And partner, this first week, this first game that we get to call together, so special every year, week 1. You had the flyover, the big American flag out there before the game, all the hoopla, just having